Hi, I'm Jamie Mata with Fox 38 Corpus Christi, and I'm here with Raquel Rodriguez, professional wrestler for the WWE. So, a quick breakdown for those that don't know you. Raquel is a South Texas native who carries so much pride in her Mexican American heritage while following in the footsteps of her father, who was a wrestler himself. So, with her impressive size, strength, and athleticism, Raquel is a force to be reckoned with in and outside of the ring. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited, especially to talk to a fellow South Texan and to talk about coming home.
So going back to, coming home, I know that your dad was a wrestler and you spent a lot of time on the road with him, cheering him on. Can you think back and tell us, like, what was that first moment when you said, I want to get in the ring too?
Oh my gosh, there were so many of those because it felt like every weekend us as a family were making these road trips, whether it was to Corpus Christi, San Antonio, Dallas, Mexico, Louisiana. And it was just so much fun to me to be on the road with my family, to be on the road with people that I enjoy being around, that I loved. And also watching my father perform. I loved watching him go into that ring and cheering him on. I think the first time that I really, really knew I wanted to try this was actually there in Corpus Christi when he was training with the Galvans. And we got to get in the rings, us as kids, just to roll around and whatnot. And I was like, I really enjoy this. I want to do this too. And, I'm such a daddy's girl too that I was like, I want to do everything my dad does.
Was he ever
So it was.
like hesitant with you? Was he like, no, Mija, you can't do it, you're gonna get hurt?
Of course he was. He definitely was. He was very protective of me. Also because it was a different, it was a different time for women's wrestling back then. When I said I wanted to do it, it was something that my father didn't really aspire for us. He wanted us to go to college and get our education. So we kind of made a little deal. And he was like, you go to college, you get your degree, and then maybe we'll talk about wrestling again. So I did. I played basketball. I graduated from Sam Houston State. And the day I graduated, I said, Dad, you remember? And he's like, oh, I knew you were going to bring this up. And the women's evolution was starting. We had the four horsewomen coming out on SmackDown and Raw, and he was really starting to see that I had a burning passion for this, and it was something that I wanted to pursue. So he went ahead and he gave me the green light, and it's been go ever since.
So getting into that a little more, as you began to like break into the industry, what was the best advice that your father or maybe another mentor gave you that you still carry with you?
Yeah, it was definitely to stay grounded. It was about staying grounded and staying true to who I am and remembering what got me here. What characteristics, what traits about myself keep me pushing, whether it's my stubbornness or my persistence, however you want to perceive it. But he always told me to remember who I am, where I come from, and what I'm representing.
Oh, that's beautiful. And going in hand with that, nothing in life comes easy, especially being a woman. We have to work hard. So, can you tell me about maybe some of like the challenges or difficult moments in your career that you had to overcome and how you did that?
Yeah, definitely. It was difficult for me at first because I know I have a very bubbly, smiley personality. I came from basketball, so when we were on the court, game face was on, it was go, and I could be that intimidating factor. But with wrestling for me, it was a little bit slower of a start because I was having so much fun. I've had a love and passion for this since I was a little girl. So trying to find that inner beast was a real struggle for me, and there was definitely times when I was training at the performance center where I was told, I wasn't going to make it. I was going to be let go, or I wasn't superstar material. And those words to me, they hurt. They definitely hit deep, but I didn't take it as a no. I told myself, I'm still here, even though they're saying these things, to me and that they might happen. I'm still here. So I'm going to show up every day. I'm going to give it my all every day because this is my dream and this is something that I want to do. And it's really tough. I tell everyone, getting to your dream, sacrifices that have to be made, like not seeing your family for a long time, being away from them. This is the farthest away I've ever moved from my family. And it's been really, really hard, especially with the birth of my niece. But it's all part of the bigger plan. It's all part of the dream. And I know that they are on board and they are supporting me from Texas. And I love that because I can still go home, I can get grounded, and I can find myself and reconnect with them and reconnect with my fellow Texans and where I'm from and my land. And I love that. And I absolutely adore that I get this opportunity to represent them, to represent Texans, to represent Mexican Americans, and to stand as a WWE champion.
I really love that. I've been getting to like research a little bit and get to know you a little more through past interviews and stuff. And it's just really awesome that you're like representing women and especially us Latina girls here in South Texas. So
Thank you.
I wonder as well, like what's the day in the life of like Raquel Rodriguez or a
Yeah,
week like?
recently it's been a lot of airports. It's been a lot of rental cars and hotels because we're just all over the place right now. But I try to start my day off with something that makes me happy, and that's going outside, taking a walk, reconnecting with that, eating a good breakfast. I'm a big breakfast girl. My mom used to make us sometimes steak, eggs, and potatoes for breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day, if you ask me. Some good breakfast tacos will get me going too. And then I like to go to the gym. And then after that, once I get all of that done, I feel good. I feel ready for whatever it is that the day has for me, planned, whether it's Zoom interviews with lovely people like you or walking into the American Bank Center for SmackDown on Friday night. So we're just always good to go after that.
So definitely, I mean, it's a demanding field. Like you're always on your feet, you're always on the go. How do you prioritize like your mental health, your emotional well-being? Do you fit self-care in there throughout the week?
I do. I do. I try to find days where I can either go to a massage therapist, a healer, acupuncture. I do believe in a lot of whatever it is to take care of my body for whatever my body needs at that time. I really focus in on my diet too because we have to stay ready. This is a 365-day sport, so there's really no off season for us. Even when it comes to what I do in the gym, I make sure that I'm stretching and lifting a weight that is pushing me, but at the same time, not straining myself because this is a very strenuous sport that we're participating in on our bodies. And mental health wise, I pray a lot. I pray a lot. I talk to God. I also call my dad every morning. I'm a daddy's girl, so we talk every morning. It's part of my routine. I FaceTime with my sister and my niece when I can, and I reconnect with my family as much as possible throughout the week because I know that these days they just fly by, and by the time you know it, it's someone's birthday or a holiday and whatnot. So I love to stay connected with the people that I love as much as possible.
That's beautiful. Yeah, family first all the time. So
Oh yeah.
once you're at the American Bank Center, you're at these arenas like all over the United States. What's your pre-show ritual? I feel like every performer has some type of ritual to like keep them grounded or get them pumped up, get them excited.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If I'm not running around like a chicken with its head cut off, because they're crazy days. Backstage, there's just so much happening, and you never know who's going to be backstage too. So like sometimes you get caught talking. I try really hard, once I'm fully dressed and my makeup's done and my hair's done and I'm ready to go, to focus on what I'm about to do, to focus on what I need to concentrate on, whether it's protecting my partner or, figuring out some kind of game plan for defending our titles. I like to stretch. I like to get as much of a quick warm up in as possible. And then, of course, I take a knee and I pray as well. I thank God for giving me the opportunity to do this and thanking Him for letting me step in front of these beautiful people and putting a smile on, even if it's just one person's face.
So I heard like you and Liv are working really hard to defend your title forever, I think was the quote, for as long as
We are. These women's titles, they've been kind of, I don't want to say neglected because they have not been neglected. It's just the women's division has had many teams. I've had a lot of different tag team partners. She's had a lot of different tag team partners. So we want to establish ourselves as a division that is as significant as the women's SmackDown title or the Raw women's title. I think that these titles are very important. It's a prestigious honor to hold a WWE title and call yourself a WWE champion.
Mm-hmm. I've never really been too into wrestling, but now that I got to know you a little better, I'm excited. Like I want to go on Friday night, see what it's all about in person. And so what would you tell people like me who maybe never watched wrestling before, or maybe fans who fell off throughout the years? Why should they tune in live or go to the next, event in person?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you guys haven't been keeping up with WWE lately, this Friday night is the start of our draft. And our draft basically is going to be them interchanging superstars. So SmackDown superstars that you see Friday night might go to Raw on Monday nights, and Raw Monday night superstars might come to SmackDown. And we haven't had one of these in 2 years. I know that there's been a lot of talk about them, a lot of speculation. So they're really hyping up this draft to be something exciting. You're also going to see different superstars and legends and Hall of Famers. You never know who's going to show up. Monday nights, we have Trish Stratus on Raw. So you never know who's going to come to the American Bank Center in Corpus Christi on a Friday night. Everybody loves Corpus Christi.
We all love surprises too, so that's going to be exciting. Another question I have is, I've seen, you're really inspired by Selena. We're in the city of Selena. And to me, it's like the looks really captured my attention. So what goes into like the designing of your outfits, the, planning, the executing? Do you have a say in that, or are they made for you?
I do have a little bit of a say. So I've kind of recently went from like a two-piece to a bodysuit. So the bodysuit's kind of my new style that I'm going with to establish myself as Raquel Rodriguez, something that'll be familiar with our WWE audience. And when I actually came to, when we knew that we were going to be a part of the Royal Rumble in San Antonio this year in early January, I was like, oh, it's Texas, y'all, and it's San Antonio. I have to do something epic. And I want it to be Selena inspired because she inspired me so much, to be humble and to stay present and to represent our Mexican American heritage. And I also wanted it to be somehow mixed in with the Latin heritage that has already been present on WWE, like Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, legends that come out and they just show everyone how proud they are to call themselves luchadores. So I actually found a gear designer who is actually out of Tampa, Lakeland, Florida, and he is Latino himself, and he used to wrestle, and he loves that. And we just collabed. We collabed together. We talked about which Selena, outfit I kind of wanted to go off of that inspired me, as well as which Eddie outfit. And he made the most beautiful one piece that I absolutely adore. And so I just really try to bring that to the forefront and to the attention, because I know that she still inspires me to this day to stay a true performer who is grounded always.
I love that. That's beautiful. Yeah, you guys definitely share like the bubbly personality, the big smile. And I love to see that because I know in your sport, you're like seen as tough or like with a hard exterior, but every time you're on screen, you're always smiling. It looks like you're truly enjoying what you do.
I do. I love it. I have a passion for this, and I love talking about it. I love sharing it with the rest of the world. But when I'm in the ring, it's go time. It's game time, all right? Game face on.
So I guess I have like a little bit of like other like speed round questions. What's your favorite artist or music to work out to when you're in the gym?
Reggaeton, especially if it's leg day. I don't know why, it just gives me that extra push that I need to really build my legs and my and my gluteus.
Old reggaeton or new reggaeton, like Bad Bunny or Wisin y Yandel?
Both. I like to mix it up because I like Wisin y Yandel. I love Daddy Yankee, especially his old stuff. I like a little bit of Bad Bunny too in there. He's my coworker now, so I like to stay up to date with what he's bringing to the music scene because we'll be seeing him next week as well. And that's another reason to come Friday night. Bad Bunny is obviously on SmackDown and Raw representing and helping Rey Mysterio against the Justice. So Damian Priest. So they have a big match coming up in Backlash in Puerto Rico, and he might be there this Friday.
Oh, nice, nice. Little secrets. She's spilling secrets.
I know. It might.
We all have cheat days. What's your go-to snack?
Oh, snack. Snack is a hard one because I love to eat fruit because it makes me feel like I'm not fully cheating, but I load it up with lime and tahini. Same with pickles. I love to eat pickles all the time. Especially if I have tahini with me, I'll put that on top too. There's a spot in Corpus Christi I'm going to for a little cheat. I'm going to have a chamoyada, a pickle that's wrapped in chamoy. So I love spicy. I love vinegary, just anything like that.
Yes, that's me too. And I know like for people who aren't from South Texas, but I know that you got to understand this. We eat our pickles with popcorn.
Yes.
People around the world are like, what you do?
When I first moved to Orlando, Florida, I went to the movie theater with some of my coworkers and I was like, all right, hey, I'm going to go get a pickle. They didn't have pickles. I was like, where am I supposed to watch this movie without a pickle? What am I supposed to do here?
So, okay, so let's stick with movies. What's your favorite like wrestling movie that you could think of off the top?
Oh, The Wrestler.
Okay.
Yes.
I haven't seen that one, so I'm gonna have to check it out when we get out.
Deep. It's deep. It cuts deep. I just feel like it's spot on with a lot of information and portrayals of indie wrestling, and so it's a good movie.
Is there any like stories you can give us about like your indie wrestling days? Were there any like underground matches that you were a part of that stuck out to you?
I did get to go, when I first started training, my dad was very specific about who I was training with. He had to be there. He wanted to be a part of it with everything that I was starting to do before I got signed with NXT. And of course, my wrestling family is in Corpus Christi, the Galvans with GCW, Gulf Coast Wrestling. So that's where we went to train a lot of times when we would drive down to meet because I was up in Houston. And I actually performed for Gulf Coast Wrestling one time. So you might be able to find a match of me there in Corpus Christi with Ben Galvan.
Nice. Everybody knows the Galvan family. That's awesome.
Oh, I love Paul. He's like my grandpa.
Second family.
Mm-hmm.
So a question that a lot of celebrities have been asked when they're visiting Texas is best tacos, San Antonio or Austin. But we both know that's not a good, like those are the worst tacos. So The real question, Corpus or the Valley? Who has the best tacos?
Listen, because I'm from the Valley, Puro 956, I'm going to say the Valley, but also because it's really hard to beat my grandma's tacos too. And she's in the Valley. So she used to work in a tortillera and she makes the most softest, most delicious flour tortillas. And when I tell you I came to Florida, Florida was actually the best thing for me because it was great for the diet. I couldn't find any good tortillas or tacos anywhere here. So it's been good, but it's also been bad. I miss my grandma's tacos.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to come down soon to the Valley and get some
Oh,
grandma
yeah.
granny's tamales.
Yes. Oh, don't talk to me about tamales. I missed tamales season this year.
Well, I mean, I think I'm all set on my questions on my end. Do you have anything that you want to tell your fans, to encourage them to come out and see you this Friday?
Yes, this will be my first time performing in South Texas with the Blue Brand with SmackDown. And like I said, it's going to be an action-packed show. You're going to have Women's SmackDown superstar Rhea Ripley there. You're going to have possibly Bad Bunny showing up. So you never know who you're going to see. Tickets start as low as $20. It's at the American Bank Center. Show starts at 6:45. Y'all don't want to miss it.
Y'all don't want to miss it. Definitely. Tickets are still available, like she said. And I will see you there. It's been a pleasure getting to know you and speaking with you a little bit. How can fans keep in touch with you if they want to follow you? What are your handles and all of that?
Yes, you guys can find me on Instagram and on Twitter, Raquel WWE.
Awesome. Thank you, Raquel. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. It was awesome. I appreciate you. See y'all Friday.
Bye.